Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chtib Zhang Show, episode 46. In today's episode, we will be talking NFL Week 11 matchups and prediction. So we'll go through each matchup, see who we like, give our predictions, and let you know where you should put your money on, because that's what it is at the end of the day, sports betting. And as always, Eric, speaking of sports betting, our sponsor is always the Hot Streak Fantasy app, the best in-play fantasy app on the market. Pick 2 to 3 players in the NFL and NBA while you're watching your favorite teams and watch them make you some money. Hot Streak is matching your initial deposit as a bonus when you use promo code Hot Sauce. So get Hot Streak Fantasy app now. Every week we'll say quick, easy way to gamble money while watching sports. So if you're ever interested in doing that, I highly suggest Hot Streak Fantasy app on the market right now. So make sure to download that. But as always, before we get into the episode, Eric, roll it. Welcome back to the Chtib Zhang Show, episode 46. Like I said, in today's episode will be NFL and a little hockey talk. I've always got to give my thoughts on the Montreal Canadiens, Eric, and their recent play. But before we get into that, we will jump into week 11 of the NFL. A lot of exciting things happened in week 10, Eric. As we know, Cam Newton has signed with the Carolina Panthers. He had 2 touchdowns, 2 red zone touchdowns. Didn't start the game, but definitely made worth of his opportunities that he was given. Tom Brady loses to Washington. Very tough game for the Bucks, and we're going to talk about them looking ahead. But the one team, Eric, that is quite surprising me, I have to be honest, that I did not have them doing this well at the beginning of the season, are the New England Patriots, the Pats. Bill Belichick, Mac Jones getting it done. Um, as they look to face off against Atlanta next week. They had a great win against Baker Mayfield and the Broncos, Eric. Not the Broncos, sorry, the Browns. The Cleveland Browns, the defense pulled up.
Destroyed them.
Yeah, destroyed. Mac Jones was just, himself usually, just not making any mistakes, not hurting his team. And yeah, they came out with a win. Bill Belichick does that to quarterbacks who are mediocre. And I say that about Baker Mayfield because that's what I think he is, mediocre. And they makes him look silly. And that's exactly what happened. So we're going to talk about the Pats right now, Eric. Heading into week 11, they face off against Matt Ryan in the Atlanta Hawks. The Pats, they're the favorites right now, Eric. Under 6. Atlanta trying to cover. They're over. They're the underdogs, and I got to take the Pats in this situation, Eric. If I were to bet money anywhere, obviously, the Patriots are making a case for a serious contender right now in the AFC, but I really want to look at their O line right now. Their O line, Eric, could be the best in the AFC right now as we speak. Mac Jones is getting security consistently throughout the last game versus the Browns. If you watch their running game, I mean, the gap's being opened right now for the running game. They ran the ball a lot last week, and they did fairly well. So I expect them to do the same. A lot of people right now are saying Mac Jones. I just said it. He's not hurting his team. He's being consistent.
Yeah.
Well, but can we just admit that the guy's good at this point in the NFL? People are saying he's not hurting his team. He's being smart. Can we just assume that right now the defense, the way the offense is playing, is complimenting Mac Jones really well right now. But I really think the guy's just good, Eric. He's making the passes as he has to. He's putting the ball exactly where he needs to, and that's why the team's having success right now. But just not only him, the O line, like I said, the run game, the defense for the Patriots has looked really good in the recent weeks. The Falcons, they just got embarrassed, Eric. So I don't really have any trust in them moving forward. But yeah, I'm taking the Pats in this one.
Yeah, same here. I'm gonna take the Pats. Same reasons as you. But oh my god, Bill Belichick. It's hard to bet against him. Last year was easy to bet against him, but this year with Mac Jones too, it's pretty hard to bet against him. I have a thing. So the game I'm playing is I have to choose from a scale to 1 to 15. So
Mm.
15 is like if I'm very confident in this pick,
Yeah.
and 1 is like if I'm like not confident at all, and like there's like a thing where like if I get it right, I get 15 points. It's something like that.
Okay. So how
So
many you put in?
how confident would you be? I want to say
Pats
like
versus
in the middle.
Atlanta, man.
Yeah,
But what happens if you put 15 and you're wrong? You lose 15?
yeah. But I have once I pick that number, I can't pick it again. So there's 15
Oh,
matchups, right? That's
but
how it
once a
works.
week or something like that?
Yeah, once a week.
So once a week you can only pick the number 15.
Yeah.
Okay, I see, I see. Would I say to use it on the Patriots? No.
No,
There's
but
definitely other matchups I would say are
I probably
locks.
give it like
I would
a
say
9.
like a 9 or 10. I would feel like
Okay.
the way the Pats are playing right now. Yeah,
Okay.
I could see.
Oh,
And just like, yeah, the Falcons, they lost to who they lose to the Falcons? Week
Cowboys.
12
Wow,
Cowboys. Yeah,
43 to
that's
3.
what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
that big game there. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Right now, yeah. So Atlanta, they just got embarrassed by the Cowboys, and I expect the Pats to come out to win very confidently.
Okay.
Next game, Saints versus the Eagles. Eagles actually beat the Denver Broncos for some reason, which is I find weird. The Eagles are pegged as favorites in this matchup, Eric, and the Saints are pegged as the underdogs, which is weird. As we know, the Saints lost, but they lost to a great Titans team, a very tough Titans team. Their quarterback right now is injured. They have Trevor Siemian in there, and he played an okay game. He went 19 for
Mm-hmm.
34, 298 yards for 2 touchdowns. It's a good game. Could he be better? We'll see. I mean, maybe that's just the potential of Trevor Siemian, but the Saints are still a really good team. The Eagles, I just think they're getting overlooked right now because of their win over Denver. Denver has been super inconsistent this season. So I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints in this one as their offense obviously ran through Alvin Kamara. So I got the Saints.
Okay. Yeah, but it's a pretty close one actually. For this one, it's not like obviously you're saying Saints, but you like even it's not that like it's pretty close. But because Saints had a good win over the Broncos. See, Broncos are not that good, but yeah, I'm probably gonna go with the Saints too. Like I'm pretty confident they'll get the win, but I'd probably give it like a 6
Well,
for them.
sorry, Alvin Kamara is injured right now. As
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
but don't forget New
Mark
Orleans, their
Ingram.
defense is still one of the
Yeah,
best
they're
in the league,
yeah. That's
and
why they
is there.
they played a great Titans team, and
Yeah,
they were close. If
yeah,
you could say play there, whatever, a bounce went their way, they could have won that game. But I definitely expect them to beat the Eagles. I think the Eagles are just getting looked over right now because of their win over an inconsistent Broncos team.
yeah.
So I'm taking the Saints right now, and I'm making a parlay. This is my parlay. Pats Saints so far on my parlay.
Okay.
As we move to the Dolphins and the Jets. Dolphins, their season may be over potentially. If they lose this game, it's definitely over, but it's not completely over for them. The Dolphins, they can come out with
Okay.
versus the Jets here. I'm taking the Dolphins for obvious reasons. Jets, are the Jets, of course. But one thing about of course, they're facing the Jets. But one thing about the Dolphins right now is their defense has really stepped up the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
One week was against Texans. Yeah, we know Texans are a rebuilding team, whatever. They held them to
Mhm.
only 9 points. But to do it against Lamar Jackson and the
Mhm.
Baltimore Ravens, I
Yeah.
mean, come on. I mean, obviously, the defense is feeling themselves right now. I expect them to carry that over. And Tua, he obviously was injured. He didn't start last game. It was Jacoby Brissett, but then he got injured with a knee injury, I believe. And then Tua came in. He didn't start because he had a fractured finger, but he looked good, finished the game. And I expect him to start the next game. So I would take the Dolphins here, who are
Okay.
favorites versus the Jets.
Okay. It's kind of crazy because obviously they're both in the same division, AFC East. If Jets win this, they're actually be tied with Miami.
Yeah.
So that'd be pretty crazy. But do you know if Mike White's
I don't know who's
he's
starting for the
I
Jets.
haven't
I
really
don't think it
been following.
matters though.
Yeah.
I really don't think it
Yeah.
matters.
But let's be honest, Jets, I think for like I don't think they're ever gonna like yeah, we have to wait a couple of years before they start winning for
Yeah.
real until they start making the playoffs. Obvious reasons. I'm gonna say Miami. I'm pretty confident in this one. I'm gonna give it like a 10 out of 15 for me.
Oh yeah, 10 out of 15. So you locked the Pats in at 9.
Yeah.
Dolphins is 10. Let's go to Washington versus Carolina. Washington, Taylor Heineke coming off a win versus Tom Brady. Eric, I believe Heineke and his matchups all time versus Tom Brady. He's outscored him 52
I
to
think
50, I believe it's something like that
because I remember last time
in
was the
two
playoffs, right?
meetings,
Yeah,
in two
remember was the
meetings, which is
yeah,
kind of crazy to think that Heineke has
yeah,
outscored Tom Brady head to head. Washington, they came off a great win by
great, yeah,
versus the Buccaneers. We'll get into the Bucks later, but yeah, so far, yeah, they're coming off a great win. However, say what you want. It's that team still Washington. That team's still kind of shaky. They just lost Chase Young.
yeah,
That sucks for him. Probably the best player in that division, in my opinion. He goes down with a torn ACL, out for the season. Hopeful he's going to recover. Expected recovery next year. Hopefully that happens for him. But I'm going to jump on the Cam Newton hype at home.
okay,
Cam Newton's expected to start as well. So I'm going to take Carolina just because what you saw last week with Carolina, just the leadership he brings,
yeah,
like you saw what Christian McCaffrey, he was getting hyped up. Robbie Anderson he was at the podium with him after the game. So he kind of brings this essence, Cam Newton, that I think is rubbing off against this team because, you know, I don't think Cam Newton works with any other NFL team right now except the Panthers. Like he belongs here. He belongs
yeah,
in Carolina. I think he fits
yeah,
really well there. Former MVP, and he goes up against his former coach in Ron Rivera, so that should be fun. But
mhm,
yeah, obviously this is a McCaffrey-led offense, so let's relax on the Newton hype. But
yeah,
still, getting a guy in the red zone who can run like Newton, you can definitely have some RPOs going on in that case. So
yeah,
I'm gonna jump on the Carolina hype. Their
okay,
defense has impressed me the last 2 weeks. No, last week it impressed me. So I'm gonna take Carolina for this one.
okay. I don't. This one's hard for me because Carolina on one hand, obviously Cam Newton, he's back,
Definitely
played
hard
very
to bet
well.
on. Definitely hard to bet on. Stay
Yeah,
away,
very
betters. Stay
exactly,
away.
exactly. Because you have Cam Newton, because they're both like not bad teams, but they're just like medium teams, right? They're not like insane teams.
Yeah.
But you have Cam Newton on one side, coming back. He showed his leadership. Everyone saw the videos, and he just obviously is. And the thing with Cam Newton is he has to be like the organization has to respect him, right? For him to do well, like he has to like kind of have the keys to the organization. He has to be respected, and he has to be like the main guy. Like we know Christian McCaffrey's the main guy, but like obviously Carolina, the Panthers as an organization, they respect him a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel like definitely makes him a lot more comfortable and able to do his thing, right? You can take
And
risks
especially
and
at home, I think he's gonna thrive. I think he's
for
gonna
sure. And the
thrive at home.
fans are gonna be behind him, right?
Hmm.
And I don't know, this one's tough because Chase Young being injured kind of changed because he's a huge player. He's a game changer for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. After last week's game, I don't know if I'm being biased from last week's game, but also Washington, they've been a pretty decent team, obviously. They haven't been terrible. I like the team. I'm gonna say Washington is gonna win this one. It's gonna
Yeah.
be close,
It's a tough game to bet on
but
for sure.
definitely not confident in it. And on my skill, I'd probably give it like a 2 or 3 out of 15, you know.
Okay, so I'm got Cam Newton. Obviously, I have to go Cam Newton. First game starting, you have to
Fair.
go with it, in
Yeah.
my opinion. But the next game, Colts versus the Bills. This one's an interesting one to look at. Obviously, Bills, they bounce back with a dominant win over the Jets, 45-17. Colts, they take care of Jacksonville, 23-17. What why I'm going to take this team over the other, of course, is based off their defense, and that's the Buffalo Bills, in my opinion. The
Yeah.
Buffalo defense gives them the slight edge. Obviously, the Bills have played some weak teams so far in their schedule. They face some tough teams that they lost to. The Titans. I would say the Colts are kind of not the next challenge for the Bills because the Colts are going through the struggle. But I would say that it's probably one of those teams like the Titans that they're going to face the same caliber, not exactly the same caliber, but I feel like this is gonna be a lot closer than people think, just because of the Bills' schedule so far. So one thing I look forward to is Dawson Knox, the tight end. He's coming back from injury, played against the Jets, but now he's back. I expect him to have a big game because Stephon Diggs most likely picks up double coverage, and the Colts are giving up the fifth most fantasy points in this case to tight ends. So I expect Dawson Knox to get some looks when Stephon Diggs is getting doubled up. So expect him to have a big,
Mhm.
big game, and that's why I'm going to take the Bills.
Okay. Okay. Fair. Same here. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm taking the Bills right away. For obvious reasons, right? Their offense, their defense is way better. Everything like Bills' defense this year is the reason why. Obviously, they've lost games they're supposed to win, but their defense has stepped up. So it's gonna be interesting to see that in the playoffs. Obviously, we know Josh Allen, we know Stephon Diggs, right? Cole Beasley's doing the same. On the other hand, the Colts are a weird team because obviously their schedule before the season started, everyone looked at their schedule. They're like, that's a pretty easy schedule. That's why Jonathan Taylor has been going absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I traded him away. I'm not gonna lie. It was a very
Oh,
bad trade, and
yeah.
I regret it. But I know saying that like I know Jonathan Taylor's a good running back, but I'm just gonna say like his schedule has been very weak. I knew that to begin with, but his schedule has been very weak. Um, and he goes like obviously last week he went crazy, but it's also against Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
Now he's got to go up against a very good
Buffalo
defense
defense.
in Buffalo, right?
That's been good
And
against the run and the passing game right now. So
exactly. And then you have Carson Wentz, who's been very inconsistent, hasn't really shown much, hasn't shown like his prime Philly days, you know. But you have like still like I like Michael Pittman Jr. He's shown a lot, like he's improved a lot. He's shown that he can be a wide receiver one very soon in the future. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills. Decently confident in this one. I'll say probably 8 out of 10 for me.
but here's the problem here is the betting, the way the Colts, Eric, going into this are over 7 point favorites. Not favorites, underdogs, as the
Yeah.
Bills are
Oh
under
my
7.
god.
So that's
Okay.
the thing. Even though, like, I feel like this is
Yeah.
gonna be a lot closer than people think, than obviously the
Yeah.
betters think. That's absurd. Like, with those type of numbers, I would be
Yeah.
like very eager to bet on the Colts in this one.
Yeah.
But for my parlay purposes, I'm gonna go with the
Yeah.
Bills. But man,
Okay.
that's definitely like this is gonna be a close game. Not gonna be a blowout. Not gonna be a blowout. I think Bills. I think it's gonna be like don't think it's gonna be more than 10 points. It could be a touchdown that just separates them, something like that. So I expect this to be much closer than people think. As we go to a matchup that's I don't know. This is another weird matchup. Weird matchup. Lions versus the Cleveland Browns. Eric, we don't know who is going to be under center for the Browns. If it's going to be Case Keenum, if it's going to be Baker Mayfield, we don't know. He got injured last game. This is definitely a weird game because the Lions, Eric, as you know,
Yeah.
through everything they had at the Steelers, they end
Yeah.
up tying them, even though
Yeah.
they had a chance to win. Steelers, we'll get into that game, but both teams had chances to win. It seems like
Whatever. Yeah.
nobody wanted to win that game.
Yeah.
And I listen, Browns are entering under 10 favorites. Lions are over 10s, underdogs. I believe the Lions should cover their spread. I don't think they'll lose by more than 10 points. So I think it'll be a lot closer. I don't think no matter who is under center for the Browns, if it's Case Keenum, if it's Baker Mayfield, I still think Browns come up with this win, even though Nick Chubb injured and Kareem Hunt injured. But the Lions are, they're a shit team, Eric, as we know. They're not going to shock anyone. It just really depends. I don't know. I wouldn't say there's an upset alert. I don't know. It really depends. If the Lions really want it like they've been playing, this could be a lot closer. It could be like a 7-point margin, but I expect the Lions to cover. I'd be surprised if they didn't. I wouldn't be surprised because it's the Lions, but I don't see them losing by more than 10.
Okay.
Which
fair.
is very possible too. But there's still a lot of injuries for the Browns right now. Obviously, they're not playing fully healthy, and that has a factor, of course, in it. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
For me, it's definitely hard to talk about the Lions. That was such an easy. We could have easily won that for the Steelers. We need that win too, right? Right now, what Cincinnati's 5-3.
5-4.
5-4. We're 5-3-1 now. Obviously, but it's still like would have been better to be 6-3. We what I don't know if are we talking about that game now or later on?
Talk about your stupid Steelers after.
Okay. Well,
talk about the Lions now. Give them some respect. The team that tied your team. Put some respect.
I know. Lions. Hey, they're not a good team. I'll be honest. They're not a good team.
They're not a good team.
Obviously, Jared Goff been a Lions quarterback, right? You can't expect much from a Lions quarterback. There's not a lot of hope for the Lions. Never been. But you can say this the same for Cleveland.
Browns,
like before last year, like they weren't anything. Like they lost Odell. Obviously, now they don't have their two best running backs. But what's that? Demetrius Johnson, is that his name?
No, Dernis Johnson.
Dernis Johnson. Dernis
Yeah, he had a
Johnson.
big
I had him
game.
in fantasy that 1 week. Yeah, he had a really good game. So if he played, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
really, it doesn't matter for me who's the quarterback. If Nick Chubb
The running back,
plays,
yeah,
he won't be there. I don't think he's there. But yeah, they can run the same squad that they ran against the Pats, and
exactly.
I still take
Mm.
them over the Lions. It's
I'm gonna
just
say, yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna say Cleveland like 13 out of 14 confident.
I would expect Lions to cover. That's one I'm looking at.
Okay.
Lions to cover. That seems like a pretty fair bet to assume. But for
Yeah.
parlay reasons, Eric, I'm making my $40,000 parlay, of course, right now. Probably not because the odds are just that's killer odds for the Browns under 10 favorites.
Yeah.
That's gonna kill my parlay money.
Should you even include that? I feel like the
I don't
risk is
know.
a
I don't know. Like the risk is, but the reward. I don't know how much money, but I'd have to take a look. Lions to cover, Browns to win. That's what I'm betting with. Let's go to Bucks versus Giants now. As we mentioned before, Tom Brady loses to Washington. Tom Brady throwing picks again. His receivers not catching the ball. Obviously, we know AB Gronk out. They're not back. They're injured right now. So the offense struggled for sure for the Bucks. It's their defense that worries me more. Obviously, their defense last year is what really carried them to the Super Bowl and what won them that Super Bowl. But right now, that same defense is not showing up. And last year didn't really show up around this time, November, something like that. So maybe it's still some time. It's still taking time for them to get going. But yeah, the Bucks defense looking real weak for me. They had that the Washington football team was on in the fourth quarter. I forget how long it was. 19 plays for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, you let that you're down in the fourth quarter, and you're gonna let Washington eat up the whole quarter
yeah.
and have 19 plays. I forget what the stat was, but I believe it was. I could be wrong. It was 11 of 15, I think. 15 third down conversions. The Washington football team had, Eric. 11 of them were good for first downs. I think that was a stat. 15 third down conversions. 11 of them were good for first downs. You can't expect to win a football game if you're giving up those type of numbers as the defense. So the offense, people might be Brady's throwing interceptions, looking real weak. Wait till AB and Gronk come back. Don't worry, they'll get it sorted out. I have no worries in that. It's the defense that's where it's still Bucks are a great team, but their defense is going to hurt them right now if they can't figure it out against really better teams. Because the Washington football team, Taylor Heineke, are not a good team right now. So it's the defense for me that's scary. Okay. But Bucks versus Giants, Eric, still big favorites. Obviously the Bucks, obviously Giants underdogs. Yeah, I expect Giants to cover in this game. I don't think they'll lose more than 11 points. I think the Bucks are going to struggle a little on offense because, like I said, for those reasons. So I'm going to take the Bucks, but Giants to cover, Eric, I expect.
Okay. I have the Bucks too in this one, obvious reasons. I know they lost last week. The Bucks to Giants are probably maybe better than Washington, right? But
I don't know. Daniel Jones is, I don't know. Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones at this point.
It's hard to say, but I don't know. I like Daniel Jones as a quarterback. I feel like he could be he's gonna be a good quarterback. Actually, he doesn't really have much time.
Maybe I don't know if he like. That's the question. Will New York keep Daniel Jones around as their starting quarterback? That could be a very interesting topic.
You can't forget for like in the NFL, if your quarterback is like he's not that like you can give up on a quarterback so fast. Like,
oh my god,
all it takes is like a couple games, and if you suck, you're out. Like,
yeah,
same it happened to Dwayne Haskins, high draft, Josh Rosen. Like, if you suck, you're out. Like, you know what I mean? You don't really get another you'll float around, but you have to be very good. So that's why with Daniel Jones a little iffy because right now he's like I'd say like kind of the Baker Mayfield range where like probably worse a bit, but like where he's like not kind of inconsistent performing, but not really,
Yeah, so it's just the worst thing about this is this draft doesn't really have that Trevor Lawrence or that big number one quarterback available. So teams are like you expect teams to be like, yeah, let's tank or whatever, general managers, but no, like there's not that quarterback that you need to that's available. So I don't know what the Giants will be doing with Daniel Jones, but yeah, like I said, so far just his tenure in New York has just one word is inconsistency. He has not been the guy they've relied on. So a lot of questions for Daniel Jones and the Giants. I don't know when his contract's up. I forget. because wasn't he taking Baker Mayfield's draft 6 overall or something like that? Maybe.
2019.
But I don't know when his contract's up. Anyway,
It's
the big
it's
question is going to
either
be: do the
yeah
Giants retain
yeah
Daniel Jones, or are they going to let him go?
because
So
it's his third year right now for it's his third year for
okay,
Daniel Jones. But it's kind of crazy because I remember when that draft was happening, everyone was like, everyone thought that Washington was going to take, no, everyone thought that the Giants were going to take Dwayne Haskins, right? And then they ended up taking Daniel Jones. Dwayne Haskins was pissed, but then that pick ended up proving right, right?
yeah.
Because obviously Daniel Jones is way better than Dwayne Haskins. So it's like, I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one. But for this matchup, I definitely have the Bucks winning. Um, I I'm pretty confident on my scale. I'm probably gonna put it like at a 14. I like the Giants. There's a lot of Giants fan. They love their team, but they're not beating the Bucks.
Um, yeah. Daniel Jones signed a 4-year deal back in 2019. I think his contract's lined up with Mayfield,
Yeah.
or he'll be a free agent in 2024. But I think, yeah, I think no, that's it.
Oh no, he's in the Kyler Murray
But yeah,
one. No, he's a
no, he's
Kyler Murray draft.
2019
Yeah,
draft.
Kyler Murray draft.
So that's why he's not the same as Baker Mayfield. He was taken a year before. But yeah, that would be a question when that time comes. But I definitely going to be one looking forward to it in the coming years.
Yep.
As we move forward, the Bengals, my Cincy Bengals, are coming off their bye week, facing off the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders just got embarrassed by the Kansas City Chiefs. I think, honestly, the Raiders are just what we thought the Raiders, they started off hot, John Gruden, but he's gone, rightfully so. And now the Raiders are just kind of like, have been the Raiders, what we expected them to be
Yeah.
at the beginning of the season. So the problem right now, what I'm scared of, Bengals, they came off, they just had their bye week. Before that, they just faced the Browns. They lost big to the Browns in that game. The problem right now with the Cincy, well, that's always been the problem, is their O line has been shaky as of late. And what scares me is the Raiders have a pretty good pass rush defense. And so, the question is if the O line could be consistent this game, if they can have a good game, I can see Cincinnati winning this game, even though they are the favorites right now. But I expect Cincy to win this game. We have seen Zach Taylor dip into his playbook, have more explosive plays with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, even the tight end CJ Uzama. I can't even say his name. Sorry, Uzama, CJ Uzama. But anyway, the offense has looked good. That's not been the problem. The defense has also looked good. So if the O line can play like they played a few weeks ago when everything was looking good and not shaky like they did against, Cleveland's obviously tough. You got to protect Myles Garrett. I mean, you got to stop Myles Garrett. We know that. But the O line has looked shaky. Burrow has had to come out of the pocket a few times. So if the O line can get things going in this game early, they could set the tone. Then I expect Cincy to win this game because I like the way the defense play. Even though they gave up 40 something to the Browns, uh, they just got to, the defense is good. They just got to be better on the run. But I expect Cincy to win this game. Raiders have just been, I think they're just mediocre at this point.
Yeah, fair. Completely fair. I was watching that Raiders game actually yesterday. They look pretty good, the Raiders, but there's too many interceptions. Deshaun Jackson had a really bad turnover. But I don't know, like the Ravens is tough because right,
Raiders,
Derek. What I say, the Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah, my bad. Obviously, I don't really like Cincinnati, so I want to say the Raiders, but it's hard to pick against Cincinnati in this case because Cincinnati, they do have a very good team. They are playoff contenders
Hopefully.
or contention or whatever the word.
Hopefully.
Like close to the playoffs.
Dark
right?
horse, playoff dark. I don't know how to say, but
No.
they would have to. They're 5-4.
They'll be in.
This is a game
like,
they gotta like. This is a game they gotta win. They gotta
Yes.
be able to beat
They
the
have
Raiders.
to be able to win the games. They have to where they're the favorites,
Like,
right? In this
yeah.
case, they're the favorites. But
Not by much though. Not
no,
it's
they just
very
have to win,
close.
yeah. But it's just their team's good, man. Cincinnati, they have a good team. Obviously, I don't know as much as you, but overall, just like wide receiver, running back, like everything, defense. Obviously, you talk about the O line, Penny Sewell. No, sorry,
No.
but yeah,
But it's,
whatever.
it's
We
fine.
don't.
I'll be looking at Jamar Chase
Yeah,
downfield
I know.
catching bombs. That's okay
Now
though.
you think about it, it's
You see
probably a good
Penny.
pick.
What
It's
what?
probably a good,
Oh
yeah.
my God! What fires you up more? Seeing Jamar Chase catch 70-yard bomb, or seeing Penny Sewell do this on the left? Nobody
Or
watches
Joe
that.
Burrow getting hit, bro. Joe
Who
Burrow
watches
getting.
the O lineman block unless you really, really like
That's why
focus on
they're.
it? You're looking at the quarterback scramble, like whatever.
That's why they're called fun guys, just because
It's an important
they
position though, the
they
left tackle
they
for sure.
blossom in the dark. Uh, I forgot what it was, but there's something like a mushroom where in the shadows
Say
they
mushroom?
grow. Yeah, it's something like that.
What?
Jeff said something like that. It was like O lines are like mushrooms. They grow in the dark or something like that.
Okay.
I forgot what it was, but they're very underrated. O lines are very underrated, but they're very
Yes,
useful.
everyone.
That's
Left
why you
tackle is
see
one of
O
the most.
line.
Yeah,
That's why you see O lines going super
and right
high in
tackle.
the pit. Like you'll have like a crazy QB and then just have like a random O line there. Like
Yeah.
everyone's like, okay. But yeah, quickly, I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati in this one. I just don't believe in the Raiders enough. I watched the game yesterday. They just didn't show enough. Too many like I like Derek Carr as a quarterback, right? We know Derek Carr is a very good quarterback, but I don't think he's ever gonna be like a playoff contender with that team.
No, I don't think so either. Let's go to your Steelers now because we just did my
Yes, sir.
Bengals. Steelers versus the Chargers. Steelers coming in as underdogs. Plus 4.5. Chargers under 4.5. Eric, no Minka Fitzpatrick, COVID. So he won't be playing. Big Ben, Eric, most likely he will be back to take over for Mason Rudolph. And who do you like right now in this game? And then I can tell you who I like. The answer may surprise you. No, it might. It probably won't.
Oh yeah.
No, probably won't.
But yeah, the Chargers are a good team. They're 5-4. We're 5-1. Kind of surprised. Actually, I shouldn't be too surprised that we're the underdog just because. So you said Big Ben's coming back for sure? Because if Big Ben was coming back,
I mean, he's had
we'd be
COVID, so. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he missed last week. He should be coming back. The question is, how is he gonna play coming back from COVID? Like
come on.
it's oh,
It's
come
Big
on.
Ben. It's Big Ben.
Oh, come on! Like we're gonna act like the guy, Big Ben, when he's in the pocket or something, he has to run around. It's like, take 2 steps and I fall over because I'm overweight and stuff like that. So,
But yeah, but obviously this year has been tough watching the Steelers just because we haven't been consistent. We've been losing games that we were supposed to win. We've been winning games that we're supposed to
they've been
win
better
too.
though, for sure.
But yeah, we have improved. I'm starting to like our team a lot. The Chargers, I like the Chargers, man. Like Justin Herbert, like the Chargers for the longest time, they were like the meme. It was like, oh, there's no Charger fans. Like no one likes the Chargers. It's all Rams, right? But Chargers with Justin Herbert, just the team's renewed. Like now you look at their team, you can see like Mike Williams, and then you have Austin Eckler, and then you can also see like Keenan Allen, right? Joey Bosa, like there's star power there, right? So obviously, I'm gonna say Pittsburgh's gonna win this one. Obviously, our team, I just think we're probably not a better team, but at that point, it's like a 50-50 toss. So I'm gonna take my team. Big Ben, if he plays, he's gonna come through. Obviously, I trust Big Ben, and I just think Mike Tomlin, he just finds a way to win games. So
probably you mentioned the Chargers and you like the Chargers and stuff like that. It's just right now the Chargers are being so inconsistent. I was so high on the Chargers at the beginning of the season. New coach Brandon Staley, defensive-minded coach. I thought their defense would get way better, and then I was like, okay, well, Justin Herbert looks great already in his first season when that team went when they missed the playoffs. I thought next year this guy was going to blossom, be elite, and you can make arguments. Is it Justin Herbert slumping? Is it just the Chargers in general slumping? Which I think mostly is that because he has looked good. Herbert's just right now, the team hasn't, and he didn't really have that good of a game last week. And now you got to face off against the Steelers. Who am I going to take? Man, I don't even know. There's a lot of question marks on both teams right now.
yeah.
Defense takes a hit. You don't have TJ Watt. You don't have Minka Fitzpatrick. The Chargers have just looked inconsistent, but I'm going to bank on Justin Herbert. I'm going to take him over Ben. Obviously, I'm going to manifest the Chargers win because I want the Steelers to lose for sure. So it's just Chargers. Man, Eric, I am so disappointed this season by the Chargers.
Yeah.
Very disappointed. I was very, very high on them. And I just didn't expect them to be, what are they, 5-4?
5-4, but they're on a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, exactly. They started 4-1. And now they're on a 4-game losing streak. So that's why, you saw glimpses at the beginning, but now, the defense has just struggled. The offense has struggled. So I still think Chargers are going to win. I'm going to manifest it, but it should be a good game though, for sure. But I'm going to take Justin Herbert over Big Ben, even though Big Ben, I'll give him credit. I did give him, even though this is his last season, I do believe, I got to give him credit. He's been playing pretty well over the last few weeks, not surprisingly well because, considering what he was doing early on in the season, which was nothing. And it was just Najee Harris carrying the Steelers as much as he can. Now they kind of, have figured out the passing game a little better. So, but I'm going to go with the Chargers either way.
I'm so happy we got Najee Harris, man.
I believe that's all the games.
No way we went through.
No, we did not go through all the games. I'm so sorry. But Najee Harris, didn't know actually there was any ties in the NFL. Eric, could you believe that?
Yeah, I know. I saw that too.
Didn't know there was. Oh my God, you want to talk about that game against the Lions? I thought we were going to talk about that. Oh my God, Eric. The Steelers did not want to win. They did not want to win that game.
No one wanted to win that game. No one did.
I mean, oh my, and you could win it. You're trying to get in the field goal. I don't know what the player's name was. He gets hit. Loses the ball. How many goddamn drop balls, fumbles were there in that game? Interceptions.
Yeah.
Just, oh my God, some terrible football. Some terrible football by both teams.
Yeah.
So I was just whatever.
I'm glad we came out of there with a tie though, because we could have.
Are you really glad?
We could have lost that easily, but
yeah, but aren't you? You're glad that you came out of tie.
No. Like I'm like, there's a point. There's a point. I was like, okay. When I saw it was going OT and I heard all about all these turnovers, I was like, okay. Wait a second. We win.
I heard I was going. Eric, did you not watch the Steeler games?
No, I wasn't. Bro, I'm busy, man. Come on.
Whoa.
Bro, I have it on my you can't watch every game.
This guy does not watch his Steelers play, and he wants to advocate for them.
Don't quote me like that. Don't quote me like that.
This guy said he was on the phone looking for the OT stats. Just saying. Didn't watch.
Let's just say I'm not always
too cocky or something. Playing the Lions, you didn't want to watch.
Bro, it's a Sunday. Like people have stuff to do. Okay, no.
It's a Sunday. Exactly. What do you have?
There's other sports going on. There's other stuff going on, right?
It's once a week. Oh my God, this is why Cincy will always be the better. Is going to be the better team in this division because I'm watching and this whole show and everything. It's manifesting Cincinnati to win now. You don't even watch.
I watch it, bro. I watch almost every game, but sometimes like I'm out. Bro, we're playing the Lions. Easy win.
Easy win, bro. Then we fucking tie. Easy win. All right. Anyway, moving on. Chargers over the Steelers confirmed. Let's go to the Texans versus the Titans. Eric's Houston Texans. I mean, we can. Houston Texans versus Titans.
Yeah, we don't have to talk
Titans
about
are going to win this game.
Yes.
Titans have been incredible, Eric. They so up and down this season. Now they're just skyrocketing. No freaking Derrick Henry. Still figuring it out. Ryan Tannehill has been good. The pass game has been good. Their defense has been good. So I expect the Titans to win. Big, and Houston just came off a bye week. So, could they be relaxed or they're just going to be sloppy out of the gates? Who knows? But the Texans are a huge favorite for a reason, over 10.5. So do I expect them to cover? Maybe not. I wouldn't say the Texans to cover here. I think the Titans might just blow them out. 49ers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is interesting now. 49ers under 6 favorites. Jags over 6 underdogs. Here's the problem. Shortened week for the 49ers. As we know, they play tonight versus Los Angeles, Monday Night Football. Jags have been playing hard. They lost just to the Colts recently. But I'm seeing some improvement by the Jacksonville Jaguars, by that team. Obviously, they were a joke at the beginning of the season, even with Urban Meyer going out, getting grinded up on by girls and stuff. But I expect the Jags to cover. I even expect maybe the Jags to upset the 49ers, okay. Eric. I don't know if there was one game for an upset. It's this one I'm looking at. Jacksonville, a big upset. Jacksonville and 49ers. Stay away from betting on this game. I am not confident in the 49ers just beating the Jacksonville Jaguars easily.
Mhm.
Jags have been playing hard football, keeping it close in a few games. So I
Yep.
think, they're getting things together. Not saying, they're a good team or anything like that. I'm just seeing more improvement now and more fight.
Yep.
So that could be an upset alert, Eric. I don't know. I'm going to take the Jags. Why not? I like the way they've been playing so far.
Yep.
49ers have not been liking it. Even though they have Debo Samuel, who's has the second most yards, I think, for a receiver. Kudos for him. But
Yep.
I'm going to take Jags. I'm not going to,
Oh yeah.
will I take my parlay? I will not answer that, but I will take the Jags to upset the 49ers. Why not? Always got to
Okay.
have an upset in there. Who do you
Okay.
like? Yeah?
That's
Same
fair
thing?
because Jags they have 2 wins, right? And they're both over Miami and what was the team? It
Cincy.
was
No, not
no
Cincy.
Miami and the Bills.
Yeah.
And most of their games have been close. You have 2 wins over those guys. It's pretty decent, obviously. Um, I like the Jags. I understand your arguments on why you'd pick the Jags, but I'm gonna go San Fran.
Yeah.
It's just
Just
obviously they're
49ers,
better.
like, I don't know. You have this offensive genius in Kyle Shanahan, and then I don't know. This has not been translating well for the 49ers. It's just not a team I'm confident in. And even though I took them high, like I thought this defense was going to be something next level and the
Mhm.
offense could take that step, but just it has not.
Yeah.
So they've been disappointing for me
But
this
like
season.
Debo Samuel has been good.
Oh yeah,
George
oh
Kittle
yeah.
hasn't been playing well.
No,
George Kittle hasn't done much.
and
But
so
and obviously they have Raheem Mostert who's injured still. But other than that, not much to show.
I
So
could definitely see the Jags upset. I wouldn't be surprised.
exactly,
I'm going to be honest. I would not be surprised if the
yeah,
Jags upset
that's
the
fair.
49ers. Let's go to the
Okay.
Cards versus Seahawks. Eric, most likely Kyle Murray, D Hop will be back for this game. You can't expect Arizona to win 2 games in a row without their stars, obviously, for good reason. They lose, understandable,
Yeah,
move on. You got to face a tough Seahawks team at in Seattle.
with Russell Wilson.
It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a good game. Say what you want about the Seahawks and how they've been playing. Russell Wilson's been injured. I still like the team. So if Cards come back, if Kyler Murray comes back, I will take the Cards. But this is going to be a very close game, 3 to 7 point margin. I have to say something
Okay.
around there. Very close, but I'll take D Hop. I don't think they're going to lose 3 in a row. I'm going to take
Okay.
D Hop and Kyler Murray to carry for a
Okay.
much needed win here for
So
Arizona.
yeah, same here. But I'd only pick them obviously if they did play. If Kyler Murray and D Hop play, they're gonna win. If they don't, like we know Russell Wilson's back, right? So
Yeah, I could
I
see
probably
if
have
they
the same.
don't, I could see the Seahawks winning
Yeah.
that game. Like
Yeah, for sure.
Cards have not looked good without their star players.
Hmm.
Cowboys, so a team that's been looking good, Eric. Cowboys
Very
versus
good.
another team that's looked good as of late, the Chiefs. This is going to be maybe the highest scoring game of the week. Or I'd be surprised if the defense had anything to do with it. That'd be just like
Hmm.
something you couldn't predict. High scoring. Obviously the KC offense has been question marks. Cover 3 has been a big thing for Patty Mahomes this season. Doubling up Tyreek Hill. But as we saw last game versus the Raiders, we're seeing a more confident Patrick Mahomes now. He just the smart decisions to throw the ball, exactly where to throw it. Something he's been struggling with the interceptions this season. I think they've kind of snapped out of this funk, the Kansas City Chiefs. So I expect a big game. But man, the Cowboys have been playing some big
Yeah.
some big games as well.
Yeah.
If I have to go with a team, I'm gonna say the Chiefs ride off their win with from the Raiders. They're gonna ride it into Arrowhead Stadium and win this game at home versus the Cowboys.
Okay. This one's a tough one. I want to say
It is gonna be
because
high
the thing with
scoring,
it's gonna be very high scoring. Both
40
defense
points
are
maybe
yeah.
each, something like that. Crazy.
Because the thing, but very entertaining game though. This
Mm-hmm.
one's gonna be a very good one to watch. The Bucks. No, what am I telling
Chiefs.
the Bucks? The Chiefs, obviously. They've been last game yesterday. They had a really good game. They're starting to come back, right? We said like, bro, there's no way Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes let
No,
this
Tyreek
happen.
Hill.
There's no way. But the thing with the Cowboys is if you look at their standings or in their record, it's a little misleading because the teams they have played haven't been the best.
No.
The only good, really, really good team they've played so far is the
Terry's
Bucks.
not gonna like this when he's editing the video.
I know. Sorry, Tim. But their first game they played, obviously they lost, and it was against the Bucks, right? It was a
Yeah.
very close game, and they have won very close games against okay teams. So the 7-2 record is misleading. I still think they're a really good team, right? they're most
gonna win the
likely gonna make the
division.
punt.
They're gonna win the
They're gonna win the
division.
division, right? Okay,
But
they're gonna win
yes,
it's not the best division, but they're gonna win. I like I like the Cowboys, but that's why I'm gonna take Kansas in this one. Dallas could win. Actually, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna say Dallas just because I want to support Dallas.
it's gonna be tough though. Like Dallas is good. They're gonna make the playoffs. We know that.
Yeah.
The question is like, will Dallas? One of the biggest things with Dallas over the years was how they perform versus good tough
Yeah,
teams, top teams. And so they're going to win the division. They're going to make the playoffs. The question will be, can they make it out of the NFC? Obviously, there's good team. You got the Rams, you got the Cardinals, you got Tampa Bay, you got Green Bay. So those are a lot of good teams. And a lot of those teams I could see beating Dallas.
Yeah.
But they've been playing well so far. And, Dak Prescott's been doing his thing. It's just, is the defense going to be able to continue what they've been doing as of late? Against these top tier teams, obviously versus the Chiefs, it's going to be a testament. It's going to be a challenge for that defense. And I don't expect the defense to have any involvement in this game by either side. It's just going to be purely outscoring the other team. Whoever does that is going to win this game. So I'm going to be looking for that, but I'm going to be watching this game, looking at the Cowboys defense and see what if they're the real deal and stuff like that versus, a Chiefs offense right now that could be one of the most elite of the week in week 11. So that's going to be something to look for. But this is going to be a high scoring, close game. If I have to pick one up, I'm going to go with the Chiefs because what they showed me against the Raiders, if that's what they're going to continue off that trend, then, that's a scary offensive team that we have been used to, that we haven't seen this season yet. And so if they can get back to that, then Chiefs are a scary, scary team. Let's go to the Ravens versus Bears. Lamar Jackson, like I said, he just got embarrassed by the Miami Dolphins. But versus the Bears, even if it's in Chicago, the Ravens are a better coach team. They got the better quarterback in Lamar. He's been playing at a superb level right now. Don't know if he's still playing at that MVP level that he was at pace early on in the season, but he's still Lamar Jackson's been having a good season. Not much to say about this. I like the Ravens offense. I think the Miami game was a fluke, and I think they're just going to come out with a solid win here against the Bears.
Yeah, same here. Not much to say. I think Ravens are going to win this. Bears have been a good team, right? Justin Fields has been improving slowly, but Ravens, very dominant team. They're good all over, and Lamar Jackson has been good. So.
Yeah, so let's finish off with the Packers and Vikings. This could be another good game of the week, in my opinion. As we know, Packers offense struggling right now, Eric. Their defense has sort of stepped up in the place of the offense right now. And so, as we know, Aaron Rodgers came back. Breaking news: Aaron Rodgers he's not immunized. He's not vaccinated. That would have been something if they were to have lost that game. That conversation still would have been thing. He won the game, so we don't have to talk about this crap anymore, and we could just let that team focus on playing. But the offense right now is struggling, and we know Aaron Jones will be out. I think he has a torn MCL or something like that. I think it's not. I think it's less serious than people expect it to be. I don't think he's supposed to be out 1 to 2 weeks or something like that potentially. So definitely saved a scary thing from happening. Aaron Jones did by. So AJ Dillon, I think that was AJ Dillon in replace. He's looked really good. He's going to be a starting running back somewhere. That guy, let me tell you, he's looked really good on this Packers teams, and I can see that guy making some money somewhere else, given the opportunity. But versus the Vikings, oh my, you never bet against the Vikings, Eric. You know what they say? You never bet against the Vikings. This is the keys to success for the Vikings. Dalvin Cook, Eric. It's that simple. As we know, Packers defense has been good, but the run defense hasn't been good all season. So if Dalvin Cook can expose that, then I can see the Vikings pulling out a sneaky win here at home. But yeah, you know what? I like Dalvin Cook. I like the never bet against the Vikings, Eric. I'm gonna go Vikings on this one to upset the Packers here. And I don't expect the offense for the Packers to struggle long, but it has been struggling. I just don't know if it's going to struggle this game or not. And I expect Dalvin Cook to expose that run defense.
Okay. So. This one's a tough one because I don't know how. Because the thing with Minnesota is they've always been like they win some, they lose. Like they haven't.
You never bet against them.
Exactly. That's fair. That is fair to say. But I don't know. I feel like Green Bay is gonna get this win.
Yeah.
Even without Aaron Jones, right? AJ Dillon's
Devontae
still very
Adams still
good.
there.
Devontae Adams still there,
Yeah.
obviously. So I'm just gonna go Green Bay. Not much to explain. Like I really like Minnesota as a team. They've been like just a medium team, like an average team, right? But so this one's kind of hard for me to predict just because they they've beaten teams that they're supposed to lose to, but they've also lost teams that they're supposed to win. So it's like
Yeah. So yeah,
it's tough.
you got the Packers, I got the Vikings.
Yeah.
We'll see how week 11 goes. That's where my
Yeah.
money will be placed if I were to bet on games. Let's go quickly to the NHL quickly.
Oh yeah.
Eric, the Montreal Canadiens lose once again to the Boston Bruins 5-2.
I
They
was
fall
actually
to
watching that.
yeah, they fall to 4-11-2. Good for 10 points in the Atlantic. With 17 games played, the most by any team in the NHL so far. So that's also just a great look for the Canadiens. Again, Jeff Petrie, 2 assists in, what is it, 17 games played, off to his worst start I've ever seen him in a Habs jersey. This is the worst start in his career by far. He's ever had to go through. Suzuki, 12 points in his last 10. Certainly one of the bright spots of this team, along with Jonathan Drouin. Man, this team, Eric, is falling off the face of the earth fast. Obviously, Jake Allen, Jeff Petrie's throwing dudes into his goalies. Jake Allen now out with a concussion. Samuel Montembeault, now the starting goaltender in Montreal. Surprisingly, he looked pretty good in Detroit, even though he let in those shaky goals
Yeah.
against Dylan Larkin. He shut it down. Even in Boston, he was pretty good. You can't fault him for that loss. Montreal played good first. They had a pretty good second and then disastrous third period.
Yeah.
So this team's just inconsistent. What we've been used to. Even if this team comes back healthy, who's missing? Like Joel Edmondson's missing. Mike Hoffman was out. Carey Price. It doesn't matter. Put any of those guys in. This team will still be playing at an inconsistent level. You can't use the injury as I used it early on in the season, but right now you can't use it as an excuse anymore. The team is what the team is. You can fault it on the coaching staff. I think they deserve some of the fault. Their power play is one of the worst in the leagues. Their penalty kill is one of the worst in the leagues. How does Alex freaking Burrows still have a job coaching in Montreal? Listen, I know Marc Bergevin is most likely on his last season, and he doesn't want to fire anyone because he's on his way out and anything like that. But come on, man. Alex Burrows has no coaching background or anything, and he's handling the special teams at Montreal. I mean, come on. It clearly hasn't worked out. It clearly won't work out no matter who comes back into lineup. You have been given Mike Hoffman. You had Cole Caulfield early on in the season, Nick Suzuki. You had some offensive caliber players who have made success on the power play in their careers. Just are not producing. Petrie on the power play looks awful. The guy has looked awful all season, sometimes a liability at times. So this team right now, Eric, will they make the playoffs? No, they won't. Neither will Detroit because Boston has only.
Well, you have to throw that in there.
Yeah. Boston only has. Boston only has 13 games played. Tampa only has 13 games played. Toronto 16. Florida, whatever. They have a good lead right now on the other teams. But Tampa, 17 points only. Boston 16. Only 13 games played. So 4 less than the Canadiens. And obviously, they're much better records, much better teams. So only 3 teams can make the playoffs in the Atlantic plus 2 wildcard teams. So no, is Montreal going to be a part of the playoffs this year? No, absolutely not. Unless they go on 2 8-game winning streaks instead of 2 8-game losing streaks that they normally tend to go on. Because Montreal, how inconsistent they are. We haven't reached that point. Like in the past 3 years now, Montreal has gone on 8-game losing streaks, like religiously. It's their thing. They love going on these 8 games. So I'm still waiting for that part in the season where it's going to be loss. Will Montreal, I don't know, by February, January, muster up some wins? Oh my God, we're only 9 points back of the wild card spot. And screw their chances of a lottery pick. Yeah, I could see that happening for sure. And is that going to benefit anyone? No, absolutely not. So
that's why I'm thinking like Carey Price should just take his time. He doesn't have, he's in no rush to come back, right? Just take his time.
Absolutely no rush.
Exactly. So that's why it's like, bro, it's tough having Montembeault or whatever his name in nets because like Jake Allen as a back, like as your starter is not bad, but having Montembeault start for you,
listen, Jake, some people fault Jake Allen on some goals. Yeah, Jake Allen, he's getting a lot of starting time and he's letting some weak goals, but like, come on, it's not the goalie. Even Montembeault nets it's not gonna make it's not gonna. Oh my God, now Montembeault's in nets. Now Now we're really screwed. No, we were screwed since the beginning of the season. We were just cursed. Obviously, I expected this team to struggle at the beginning of the season. To struggle this much, though, no, I didn't expect this. I just don't see the Habs making the playoffs this year with the team that they built, that they put on the ice. Some bright spots. Ryan Poehling has looked good in the short time he's been up here. He scored a goal against Detroit. He got an opportunity with Gallagher and Dvorak. Dvorak's another player who's just has not integrated well in the Montreal system. He hasn't figured out yet. Slow start to his season too. If I wanted a defensive player, I would have just re-signed Deneau, but I'm not hating on Dvorak because, whatever, new player, but
Yeah.
Still young, good contract. He just needs to get it going offensively. Hopefully I could see some signs of offense. Hopefully this guy just, doesn't turn into Philip Deneau 2.0, where it's just, no offense, just, I could play defense. And I don't know. It's bad. It's real bad. Some bright spots though. Like I said, Poehling, Jake Evans, I've really liked his play too. That third line, Yoel Armia, Jake Evans, and Arturi Lehkonen have played most of their minutes in the offensive zone. They're playing some good hockey. Nick Suzuki's playing some good hockey. The Dvorak line and Gallagher have not figured anything out yet. And then the fourth line, Pizzetta, Belzile, just because of injuries. That's what we have.
Yeah.
So, team's injured right now. It doesn't matter. That team's going to come back. Nothing's going to change much, Habs fans, and it's too late anyway. So we're going to keep talking about the Montreal Canadiens, obviously. Some big events coming up later on. If there's a trade deadline, whatever. But it's not fun being a hockey fan right now, for sure. Definitely not fun. It's definitely you hate this early in the season to throw in the towel. Pretty much sucks. If Montreal somehow makes the playoffs, I'd be surprised how they do it. How they turn around this season. I'd be very surprised, and I'd owe them another apology on top of the one from last year's playoffs. So, but I don't bank on it. Don't bank on it, Canadians. I don't bank on it one bit. So you don't scare me. There's no hope at this point. Tank for a lottery pick and then let go of your bad contracts and find a new coach, because Dom Ducharme, that guy has looked so inconsistent at the NHL level. Has not been able to make.
Wow, what a switch up from last year's playoffs. So no,
whoa. I never gave credit to Dom Ducharme last year's playoffs. I never gave credit. I always said it was the team going off this thriving vibe, or this just playing well, and they're just working on it.
Too, yeah.
Nothing to do with Dom Ducharme. I knew going into the next season the power play with Alex Burrows was going to struggle, and this team was going to struggle. And Dom Ducharme has just, it's not even that the team is, he has struggled immensely, and he can't make in-game decisions or changes or anything like that. He's being outcoached almost every game right now by other NHL coaches. So his inability to make in-game switches has cost his team mightily. But just at the end of the day, the players aren't showing up. Nobody's showing up. And you can't fire a coach you just signed, because I don't know when Claude Julien's contract's done, but I'm pretty sure you're still paying him. And then you're going to pay Dom Ducharme at the same time while you're paying your third coach? No, you can't do that. So he won't be fired this season. But man, that guy, I was really excited when he became coach. Really excited, especially when Julien was still on the bench and they signed him as a associate or assistant. I forget what it was. I was like, he's going to be the next coach. That's the plan, but it has not looked good for him right now. Not at all. But you can't fire him. As much as people want him fired, you can't fire him. It's just the Canadiens care more about their look than their play. They're not going to fire two coaches with their contracts. They still have to pay. That's just dumb. So, yeah. Kudos to the Montreal Canadiens. Thanks for ruining my hockey season in November. Thanks, guys. Whatever. Whatever. So said, don't worry, Detroit will come too. They'll falter. They'll hit a rock and it'll be sad.
Okay, well, we don't
enjoy this high though. Enjoy, as I call it, the high, the hockey high. Enjoy it though, because I'm missing it. No, what? It's gonna happen.
We're winning games. We're losing games.
You're gonna lose more games though, because you're gonna face tougher teams that you haven't played yet. So let's relax.
Hey, all I'm saying is
Boston, Tampa are not going to be under Detroit by the end of the season. Come on, let's be realistic here.
I still have hope.
Yeah, well, I don't. So that has been another episode of the Chtib Zhang show. Week 11 football in the books. Next week, I have no clue what we're going to be talking about. Hopefully something spices up in the UFC. Something happens. We get some confirmed news, maybe a trade. Or something crazy so we can just, talk about here. But so as always, thank you for listening or watching if you've been with us here on YouTube to the Chtib Zhang show. It's been Chtib and Eric, and we'll be back for next week's episode 47. We'll see you guys. Peace out. Roll the outro.